Hey, guys. Okay, so I did an intro video. I know I've been talking about it, and that was my intro video. Welcome to this live recap. The week with Conservative Mama. That's me, Rachel. And welcome to the new year, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's I haven't done a live stream in a while, since last year. It's been a long time. So here we go. I am actually live on X, and I don't really do X live streams, but I'm trying it out. I usually am at Rumble, so I'm sorry to my Rumble people. I'm testing this. I'm seeing what works better, and if people join on X, great. If they don't, then we'll just go back to Rumble. Okay, this is a test. It's a test. We're testing it out. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Let me see here. Let's go to the comments. Welcome. Hey, Catherine, my sister's watching on YouTube. Hey, love the intro. Thank you, sister. Thank you. I'll see you in like a week and a half. Whoa, Mama, Buzzy. Hey, Buzzy, what's up on YouTube? All right, anybody else? Is Facebook in the house? Is Facebook here? We did get a report that Zuckerberg is no longer going to censor, but wait a minute. We were told that he wasn't censoring. I mean, for years, I was told, we're not censoring. We are not. We would never do that. We would never censor. And then we find out, okay, hey, we're going to stop this censoring. So that's a wrap. It was fun, but we're gonna go back to letting people just talk. And I don't know if that's true. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm such a skeptic. I can't say everything I want to say, but I'm a skeptic. I'm a skeptic about everything and everyone right now. Like I don't know what's happening to me. Maybe it's age, just getting older, and you're like, I don't believe anything you're saying. You're a liar. So we're gonna tread forward lightly. I actually told my supporters, my subscribers, and my Patreon supporters that I probably will, just so you guys know, and not to be like, oh, you got to come subscribe to me, but I will be speaking more freely to them because I'm hesitant with some of the stuff I've been seeing to say really everything I want to say. I mean, just to let it all out. And so I'm going to save that for a more private, intimate setting. But I will be, I don't know. I mean, I will say this as we move forward. Because my job is what I study the left, right? I study the left. I play the left. I characterize the left. And I was thinking, and this is, I don't know when I shouldn't start it like this because this is all sad and doom and gloom, but I got to be real. So if you're the bad guys, if you're the lefties, right? If you're the let's take over the world, let's take over the planet, down with America, then you're going to be like, let's do everything we can to distract Trump from getting to accomplish everything he wants to accomplish, right? I mean, if you're the bad guy, you're going to be like, let's create crisis after crisis after crisis so he can't really get the job done. So that's where I'm like what's going to happen this year? I don't know. And that's where I'm at. That, to be honest with you, that's where I'm at. So I'm just kind of like, walking, we're swimming, we're happy, we're fine, everything's fine. And maybe I could be wrong. I mean, hopefully that's where prayer comes in. We pray against this stuff and we ask God for protection and his will be done. And we don't stress about it. Well, you can't stress about it, right? Like you just got to give it to God on a lot of this stuff. But I feel like that's what they're doing. Like they're plotting this stuff. And so I don't know. That's where I'm at. Okay, let's get into this. Some of the stuff that's going on. Yes, Facebook said that they're not going to censor us anymore. Right. Okay, we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see. Although I do see some Facebook people on here. So hello, guys. Have you seen? How long has it been since you've seen me? Honestly, it's funny. I'll make a post on Facebook and people will be like, "It's so good to see you're back. We missed you so much. Where have you been?" Did you just decide to take a hiatus? And I'm like, no, I've been here the entire time. So I don't know, maybe you will start to see me. That would be great. That would be fantastic. If you do, great. If you don't, then we'll just keep trudging forward as I have been for years now. And so we'll see what happens with that. What else is going on? Okay, really quick. We got this just happened this morning. Trump receives an unconditional discharge. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I'm not a lawyer. What unconditional discharge? Like, basically it's like, okay, that's your charge. Your unconditional discharge. That's your charge. So now we can say you're a convicted felon. That's basically what happened, which is just so dumb. And it's so sad. Like, it's like, they lost. They're sad. They're licking their wounds. And they're like, what happened, you guys? I thought Kamala was going to take it. I thought she had it. And then they realized, no, she didn't take it. And we lost bad. We lost like bad. We lost really bad. So let's just figure something out so we can kind of like have something to be happy and excited about. We'll just call him a convicted felon for the next 4 years. That's what we'll do. So that's basically all that's happened here. And to be honest with you, that to me just shows how corrupt our system is. I mean, we've known this. We've seen the courts become politicized. We've seen it all. We've witnessed it. It's been horrible to watch. And this just kind of is like the nail in the coffin. It's like, yeah, in case you were wondering if we are politically engaged and that we will go after political opponents and we will use the lawfare to do it, we will. We will. And we're going to call Trump a convicted felon for the next 4 years because he's unconditional discharge. Dumb. That's my take on it. Stupid, dumb. What else is going on? There's so much going on, you guys. Let's see here. California fires. That's a sad one. Should we go there? Should we start with what a mess, right? I lived in California, believe it or not. I lived there for quite some time. Back and forth from California for years of my life. I actually lived in Hollywood, did the whole Hollywood scene, lived in a celebrity's home. Well-known celebrity. I'm sworn to like confidential things, so I can't fully disclose and talk about what I saw and what I witnessed in Hollywood. But it is a beautiful part of the country. I will say that it's absolutely gorgeous. You've got the mountains, you've got the Hollywood Hills, you've got the whole San Fernando Valley, you've got Malibu. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's really, really sad that the left has completely taken over and destroyed it. That's basically what's happened. And I think right now what you're witnessing is and in California, you gotta be on DL on your like conservatism, especially if you're not like, I get it. Like a lot of these big, we have conservative actors and celebrities. They're like, I say what I want to say. Yeah, but you didn't when you were starting out. Okay. Like you kept your mouth shut. And that's what most of the conservatives out there have to do. If you want to work, you got to be quiet and you don't really express your views. I had horrible, stuff. I mean, cause I'm a Christian and and there was a certain, dramatic art school that I attended. And it was so godless that their whole method was you have to like renounce like who you are as an individual, right? You get rid of who you are and then you take on the full role of the character, right? And here I am like this Christian girl. I'm out in LA. I'm like, what? Like, I don't. And they're like, we need you to like renounce God. Like just, renounce any faith that you have, any religion that you have, you just renounce it, empty your vessel, and then you take on the character. I was like, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. So that was my first time out in California. No, that was my second time. First time I was on a scholarship for acting at a small Christian university, and that was fine. And then I went back out there to the dramatic arts school, horrible experience. And then went again and experienced the whole Hollywood scene. Did some improv acting out there and some horrible horror films that I don't want to talk about. Really. And then anyways, so the people out there pretty much, I mean, they're far left, right? You're far left. You vote left. because it's all emotion. A lot of these people, I mean, guys, I'm an emotional person, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm an emotional person. And that's why I do what I do. I think the satire, the comedy, the parody, like that all derives from emotion. And that's why I feel like we need to use emotion more to reach those people in the middle that are emotionally led. Like that's my mission. But when it comes to voting, people that typically vote on their emotions, they vote left, right? Because the left, they thrive on your emotion, right? So what these people that experience these horrible fires is, maybe this isn't working. You know, I voted on my emotion. I've been voting on emotion for years. The people that are elected based on emotion really don't know what they're doing. I mean, they don't have water in the fire hydrants there, you guys. They cut, like, what was it? I have it like 75 million or something insane. What is it? I wrote it down. Like they cut, yeah, like 17.5 million. And what's the difference? There's a difference between 75 and 17. But anyways, they cut a lot of money from the Los Angeles Fire Department, and they went with a very woke-minded ideology. For instance, here's one of the people on their force, and this is what they lead with. Instead of like, let's put out the fires. You're caught in a fire. We're going to help you. We're going to get your fire put out, and we're going to save lives. We're going to save lives. That's the mission. It's the same thing that's happened to our military, right? They've gone woke. Like we got drag queens and them making like pop videos with makeup on, and like, stop it. You're supposed to be a lethal weapon. Like that's your job. Do your job. And firefighters, your job is to fight fires. Well, this lady, this is what she says her job is.
See somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Okay. Like what? I'm sorry. I don't care what you look like. Honestly, if I'm stuck in a house and I'm thinking, my goodness, if this thing is going to burn down and I'm stuck in it, I'm not going to be like, wait a minute, you don't look like me. So I'm waiting for like a woman because I'm a woman or identify as a woman. I'm waiting for a woman to come save me. So send a woman for me, please. I don't care. I don't care. That's leftist. That's the leftist mindset, right? It's emotion. Like, honestly, do you think anybody cares if they're about to die? Who's saving them? And then she says, your husband can't be stuck. Like, why? Like, your job is to be able to lift a man. If you're going to be a firefighter, you should be able to lift just as much as a man can. But that's what they're focusing on. And then this is the mayor, guys. This is the mayor. She's approached yesterday with some tough questions. And this is how she responds.
For being absent while their homes were burning. Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up? I appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
Okay, so this goes on for a while, you guys. This goes on for a while. She doesn't answer a single question. She doesn't say like anything. She doesn't say anything. Okay. Like if you're watching the city that you're the mayor of burn to the ground, could you not at least just be like, I want to offer my condolences? Like, I'm so sorry this happened. At least say that. Like, okay, yeah, you screwed it up completely. You just really messed it up. You got DEI in the program trying to push all sorts of like woke agendas instead of focusing on clearing out underbrush and making sure the water hydrants were full of water and filling up reservoirs. Instead of doing that, you were focusing on the woke stuff. Okay, we get that. We got it. But in that moment, Like, could you not just say, I'm so sorry? Like, I'm looking for answers right now. I'm looking to assess. I have no idea where we're at right now in the entire process, but I have to offer my condolences. I am so sorry for the people that have lost their homes, for those that have lost their lives. Like, can you not say that? Like, Los Angeles, you hired this woman. This is your pick. Stop being led by your emotions. Vote on policy. Now, California, the Los Angeles didn't even have any Republicans running there pretty much because they're so far left. But another Democrat did run that was much more moderate, and they didn't go with this guy. And this is the guy that they should have gone with.
Russo, Rick Russo joins us now live on the phone. Rick, thanks so much for being with us. What are you seeing in terms of your property tonight?
Well, hi, Alex. Thanks for covering us so well. Listen, it's a disaster to the 100th degree. It's beyond anything I think any of us could have ever imagined. But my heart goes out, obviously, to the people with their homes, and I'm watching the small businesses around us go up in flames. This is people's livelihoods, so it's devastating. But what is most concerning to me is our first responders and our firefighters who are trying to battle this. There's no water in the Palisades. There's no water coming out of the fire hydrants. This is an absolute mismanagement by the city. It's not the firefighters' fault, but it's by the city. And I'm going to be very honest. We've got a mayor that's out of the country, and we've got a city that's burning, and there's no resources to put out fires. So if you look at your pictures, you don't see the firefighters there because there's nothing they can do. And it looks like we're in a third world country here. Mm-hmm. And we've got a lot of tough questions that we need to ask the mayor and the city council and our representatives and the county representatives. Why didn't you work to mitigate this? What was your brush mitigation program? I heard you earlier talking about it's been dry because there hasn't been rain. That's not the biggest problem here. The brush up in these hills that are controlled by the city and the county, I would bet you that they haven't been handled, mitigated, pruned, removed for probably 30 or 40 years. This was a disaster waiting to happen. And what's predictable is preventable. And who's paying the price are...
Okay, so that's basically what he said. What's predictable is preventable. And this is the thing, you guys. It's not like, whoa, this forest fire, this fire came out of nowhere. We've never seen a fire here in Los Angeles. And I don't know why I'm using an English accent for that. But seriously, it should have been oh my gosh, you guys, we've never seen a fire in Los Angeles. This happens all the time. All the time. I live in Colorado. We have forest fires here. If you live in Florida, you have hurricanes. If you live in Arkansas or Tornado Alley, Alabama, you're gonna have and I can't say tornadoes. I say it wrong. Tornadoes. My husband makes fun of me every time I try to say the word. Anyways, we know what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So what you do when you know something's gonna happen, this is just, again, common sense. You plan for it. You plan for it. You know what's coming next to California? Mudslides, okay? We're going to hit springtime, and it's going to rain a lot. It's going to rain. Rain's going to come down. It's going to hit the fire-burned areas, and it's going to cause mudslides. What are they doing now to mitigate the destruction that the mudslides are going to cause, because it's going to happen? Same with earthquakes. Instead of, I don't know, here's a thought. Instead of spending your budget to fly to Ghana and on woke junk, spend it on preventing or limiting the destruction that these natural disasters cause. That's conservatism, guys. Conservatism is just common sense, basically. And I don't know, if you're a leftist, if you're an actor out there, if you're emotionally led, just put a pause on it and think, okay, What solves the problem? Go to the root of the problem. Let's go to the root of the problem. Once we're at the root, what's causing this? And then let's solve this problem. Let's not put a Band-Aid on it. Let's solve it. It's just, and I think, it's still going, right? I think it's just, I don't think they have any of it contained. They're just like, sad. What else has happened this week as we recap the week? Trudeau is out. Wow. Maybe we'll see a make Canada great again. Make Canada great again. That would be great. And really quick, I know that we'll cover this in a second. Trump's talking about taking Canada. I'm not like, let's not do that. Like, let's let Canada be Canada. I know Canadians love their country. They love being Canadians. Like, they're proud of it. So let them be, and maybe they'll figure this whole thing out. But I will say, I'm going to be sad being done playing Trudeau.
I am Justin Trudeau. Oh, we've got the wrong flag. Yeah, we need the one with the maple leaf. Yeah, this is the maple leaf. Again, this is the wrong background. The maple leaf. Get the maple leaf flag. That's better, yes. Bonjour. I am Justin Trudeau. You might not recognize me without my blackface on. I do love a good blackface. But I took it off before I came here today. I shouldn't be sharing this. Can we start over? Okay, here we go. I am Justin Trudeau, and I talk in a soft voice, so you don't really know that I am, in fact, a raging, radical tyrant. I'm full-blown tyrant. It's true. I am freezing bank accounts and robbing you of your civil liberties.
Okay, that's enough from Justin Trudeau. But seriously, I'm gonna miss playing him. And he does talk in this very soft, wonderful accent. It's so beautiful and Canadian. Oh, you betcha. While he's literally taking away every one of your civil liberties and rights. That's what he does. And I hope the people of Canada don't re-elect someone that wants to do the same thing. Please don't do that. Like, just don't do that. Don't do it. Here's Trudeau. Here he is.
I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have
Okay, I don't think we need to hear him talk. Basically, he says he's out. He's out. He's going to wait for someone to come in. So I was trying to figure out the process because I'm like, how does this work? Like, how does it go down in Canada? Like, what do they do? Like, what's the election process there? So I found that who replaces it. So I got to put my glasses on. I know this just marks my age. And I'm going to just give you guys a heads up. If you read a post of mine or a tweet, I don't know, we'll say tweet anymore. I don't know. A post on Facebook, on YouTube, on any social media site, and you're like, that is totally spelled wrong. Like, what is she trying to say here? It's because I didn't have my glasses on. That's what happened. Just so you guys know. Like, I didn't have my glasses on, and I just decided to, I was like, oh, who cares? I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say what I really want to say. And then once I put my glasses on and after I posted, I realized that I literally misspelled almost every single word on it. That's what happens to me often. So if you see a post go up and then come down, it's usually because I didn't have these guys on. And I've been doing something wrong too. I've been wearing these like when I try to read. And then my kids will come in and I'll be like, I'll keep them on. They'll be like, can you help me with it? And I'm like, yeah. And I wear them around. And I guess that's terrible for your eyes. So I need to go to an eye doctor. I hate doing all that stuff. Anyways, let's focus. Okay. So who replaces Trudeau? Voters can rank their preferred candidates. Candidates receive district points based on a ratio of how many voters choose them as their first pick against the total number of valid ballots cast. So I'm like, what does that mean? So basically, like the liberal parties, like it's kind of like basically a primary, like we have here. So they're going to have like their own little primary, the lefties up there, and they're going to gather and they're going to try to find their next communist. Let's see who we can put in. A socialist, commie, anyone else related to Castro here? No? Okay. So that's what they're going to do. And then they're all going to vote. And the district points across the country are then totaled up for each candidate. The first contender to receive more than 50% of the points on any national count is selected as the Liberal Party leader. If nobody gets more than 50% on the first count, the candidate with the fewest number of points is eliminated and their ballots are distributed among the remaining contenders, according to whom voters choose as their second preference. This elimination process continues until a candidate meets the target of 50% plus one. Okay, and that's what Trudeau got. So in 2013, Trudeau won his leadership contest in a landslide and got 80%. Why? Canada's next national election is October. Pencil this in, guys. Write it down. It's October 20th, 2025. And that's when Canada can be like, okay, we're done. We're done with the commies. Let's just fix the mess we created and get somebody in here that will clean it up. Okay. And this is who I like. This guy.
Currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean, certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left or right.
Anyways, I don't
really believe in that.
Okay, a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great.
I love this guy. Like, he's just like eating an apple. Like, what are you going to do? I'm sorry. Who are you? He handles the press just like Trump handles the press. Pierre, and I can't say his last name. So I went and I was like, how do you say his last name? Because everybody says it really fast. They're like, what? But listen, I tried to listen to what they said, like the internet.
Pierre Poilievre.
What? Listen to this. It's like, what?
Pierre Poilievre.
So if you're Canadian, can you write it in here? Because I don't know what she's saying. But he's cool. He's good and he's conservative. And I think he will make Canada great again. And you got to just cut with the press. You don't even play with them. That's the thing. Like, if I could just advise candidates on how you handle the press, like, you just don't even play with them, and then always turn it back. Like, see what he did there? You just flip it back on them. Like, they're little minions that go out and they're hired by their leftist sources and they're like, just go out and just flip it back on. Just what? I'm sorry. And then you start questioning them. That's what I would advise you to do if you're going to run for office. Just go out. On what? Hold up. Back it up. And that's basically what he does, and I love it. Conservative, loves Canada, and not a communist. So those are all conservative, loves Canada, not a communist. Okay, I'm in. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. So that happened. Where are we on time? Okay, I'm gonna like halfway through this thing. This had to have been brutal. I can't imagine having to do this, but it happened. It happened, and we got to share it. It's poetic justice, and it only happens so often, right? Like, especially when you're the conservative, right? Like, because so often, like, you see the bad guys, they win, they get away with it, and you're like, man, could we ever just see something like, just like, the good guy wins and like the bad is defeated, and then there's like this wonderful, like, dramatic, poetic moment where you're like, yes. Well, this happened this last week.
For President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
And all the lefties are like, yes, yes. But that was beautiful. I mean, they're just really, I mean, you could just watch that on a loop, right? I mean, you could just be like, yes, that was, she had to announce her own defeat. Wow. I mean, that's a tough one. That's not easy. And that happened this week. So that was another highlight. Just put that on a loop, right? Make that as your ringtone, right? Let's see here. Do we still do ringtones? I don't even know. That makes me like, so dates me. I just have the generic whatever on my phone. I should get something cool on it. Anyways, what else? Oh, this is something I covered at the very beginning of the week, and nobody really even, I don't think anyone else even talked about it. I mean, it was kind of like highlighted. Trump mentioned it in his press conference. He did have a major press conference and discussed all sorts of stuff. And then he called out the fact that the Biden administration, like on their way out, they're like, they're making it as difficult as possible, right? Like, oh, a peaceful transition of power. Okay. As they like literally let like the evil villains back into onto the streets, pardoning people. It's just evil people. I mean, that alone, if you're a leftist, you should be like, why did he do that? Like, why is he pardoning people that are like horrible humans, evil humans? Why? I think it just exposes who the guy really is, right? So Biden stops 625 million acres of oil drilling, basically in along our shores. So he does that. Why would you do that? Like, if you're why would you do that? Because you're for the environmentalists? Is it because you want to save the planet? No, it's not because he wants to save the planet. It's because he wants to make Trump's job difficult, right? If our whole mission is to make America great again, to cause energy independence, he's shutting down energy, basically, is what he's doing. So what I don't think a lot of people understand is, listen, even to the people that are so emotionally led, and you're like, we got to save the planet. The polar ice caps are melting. The polar bears are just swimming. They've turned into fish. The polar bears have turned into fish because they have no land. Like, before you go that route, okay, just pause for a second, okay? Just pause. If you want to eliminate oil, right? Like, that's because it's destroying the planet. You have to have like a replacement for it. Now, I'm all for like various like energy resources. Like, don't get me wrong, like natural gas, solar, wind. Yeah, let's do it. But to go in and just be like, we're done with oil. We're done. Just Nancy Pelosi it. Just tear it up. We're done. It's over. Like, you got to just stop for a second and think, how do we replace this? Like, because people don't understand how much oil is in literally everything. And this, I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's too long. It's like, oh my gosh, just stop. Even when I was making this, I was like, Rachel, like, can you cut this in half? Because it's just like, it's annoying. Like, it's annoying. Seriously, like you're annoying. I was annoying myself. But here's a snippet. The administration just announced that they're going to ban offshore drilling for oil on 625 million acres in the Atlantic and Pacific. Why? I think at this point, they're kind of like, let's just burn it all down on our way out, to be honest with you. But a lot of the environmentalists are like, yeah, save the planet. What most of these environmentalists, I can't even say that word. What most of these environmentalists don't know is that China is currently offshore drilling and they have like no regulation. So they're just like polluting the planet. And we drill with much more regulation in a safe and effective manner. I don't think most people, whether you're an environmentalist or not, understand that petroleum, crude oil, is pretty much found in everything. I'm going to give you a quick list right now. Petroleum is found in adhesives and sealants, such as contact adhesives, content cement, denture adhesive, epoxy putty, glue, liquid gasket sealants, pressure-sensitive adhesive tape, sealants, shoe glue, silicone sealants, structural adhesives, super glue. Petroleum is also found in asphalt. So that means roads, okay? Airport runways, bridge deck coatings, foundational waterproofing, parking lots, racetracks, road surfaces, tennis courts, tennis court resurfacing, waterproof membranes, anything that's waterproofed. Petroleum is also found in batteries. like alkaline batteries, car batteries, lead acid batteries, lithium ion batteries, lithium polymer batteries. I can't say polymer. Nickel cadmium batteries, nickel metal hydride batteries, phone batteries. Oh, phone. That's your phone, people. Rechargeable batteries, silver zinc batteries, zinc air batteries, zinc carbon batteries, just batteries, okay? Petroleum is also found in chemicals, like cleaning products, detergents, dyes, fertilizers, isopropanol, alcohol, lubricants, a bunch of things I literally cannot pronounce. Nylon, paint solvents, paint thinners, paints, pesticides, polyester fibers, soap, and synthetic rubber. Petroleum is also found in consumer products. Antiseptics, awnings, balloons, ballpoint pens, bandages, basketballs, boats, cameras, CDs and DVDs, clothes, clothesline, combs, dentures, dice, dishes, drinking cups, electric blankets, electrician tape, eyeglasses, fishing boots, fishing lures, fishing rods, folding doors, football cleats, football helmets, footballs, golf bags, golf balls, guitar strings, hair curlers, ice chests, ice cube trays, insect repellent, laptops, life jackets, luggage, mops, motorcycle helmet, nylon rope, paint brushes, paint rollers, parachutes, petroleum jelly, purses, refrigerators, and roller skates. Keep going. Rubber cement, shag rugs, shampoo, shoe polish, shoelace aglets, shoes, shower curtains, skis, soap, speakers, sunglasses, surfboards, telephones, tennis rackets, tents, toilet seats, toolboxes, tool racks, toothbrushes, transparent tape, trash bags, umbrellas, yarn. But let's not forget cosmetics, bath salts, blush, body lotion, body wash, conditioner, contact lenses, deodorants, eyeliner, face masks, hair coloring, hair dye, hairspray, hand lotion, lip balm, lip gloss, lipstick. Okay, we get it, Rachel. We got it. Okay. It's in everything. Basically, I mean, that was the point of the video. It's in everything. So before you're like, well, I mean, not like, I mean, literally, it's not like if you had an apple, you're eating oil. Okay. But when I say everything, it's in everything. And before you go off and say, let's just be done with it. Like, let's stop it all. Save the planet. Like, let's figure out some other things that we could replace oil with. Okay, let's just do that. Let's just another thought. So that's my take on it. Trump wants Greenland. That's the next on the list. Trump wants Greenland. I'm not like, okay, a lot of people are like, he's just totally, he's acting like an emperor. Like he's trying to take over the world. Like he's trying. Like it's happening. It's happening. Like, he wants Greenland because, okay, let's just talk about this. Greenland has a territory. It's kind of up for grabs. Denmark kind of controls it, but the people of Greenland don't even like the Danes. Like they're like, we don't even like you, and the Danes don't like them. And it's really important for us as China and Russia expand because they're trying to go out into the Arctic, all of this stuff. Like it's important for us to have some kind of claim over there. And we purchased other things. We purchased the Louisiana. To anyone here from Louisiana, like we've purchased other territories. Like this is not like unheard of. And to be honest with you, several presidents prior to Trump have also tried to do this. They have wanted to do this. So it's not like some new like, oh, what? It's not like that. It's not like that at all. It's a strategic move. And Trump said on Truth Social, for purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world, the United States of America feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity. Okay. Also, like when you start to look into it, Greenland has a ton of natural resources, rare earth minerals that are important to technology. And we start to see this AI development. We start to see all this start to take place. We need a lot of that, like a lot of the resources. And it would be wise for us to invest in Greenland as opposed to just leave it vulnerable for Russia and China, because this is all like you got to flex your muscles here. So I don't know what will happen with this. We'll see what happens. I'm not opposed to it at all. I actually think it's a great idea. Yeah, the other one, Canada. I'm not like I don't like what. Like we talked about that. Let's let Canada be Canada and get this Pierre guy in, right? Like that's my take on Canada. I think the whole Canada thing is a trolling. It's trolling. It was trolling on Trudeau, because he's totally mismanaged it. He's not liked. He just resigned. And that kind of all started before he resigned. So that's my take on Canada. The Panama Canal is another one. That is important. We built the Panama Canal and we did control it all the way until Jimmy Carter. And then this whole like anti-America sentiment broke out across the world. And Jimmy Carter's like, okay, we won't control it anymore. Panama, you can have it. When we pretty much run the show down there, like all of the business, all of the what do you call it? Our trading, a ton of that comes through the Panama Canal. And so it would be very, very important, especially I see it this way. The Darien Gap is right down there. We've seen a lot of people illegally come up through the Darien Gap. They're coming up through Panama. They're coming up and then coming into Mexico and then up into the U.S. I think having some kind of say down there protects America. Again, it's more like I see it. They can talk about trade and all that stuff, but I see it more as like a national security thing, especially because we built the whole thing. It's like, right? Like, and we did control it. Until Carter. So I did until like weak ineffectiveness that we controlled it. I see it more as a national security. Like we need to very much control who's coming up through Central America, eventually with the goal of getting into our country, right? So that's kind of how I see it. And we'll see what happens there. The Gulf of America, I got nothing. I don't care. I don't care if it's the Gulf of America or the Gulf of Mexico. I know. People are like, you should care. You should care about that. Like, I don't like either way, like, right. That's my take on it. And you might be super passionate about changing it to the Gulf of America. And if you are, great, get some garb and merch and sport that stuff. But for me, like, I am good. Like, I don't. And it basically comes down to like a name change. Basically, it's like there's a board, and the board can actually rename. Like they renamed mountains here. We got a Colorado mountain that's like been changed. What was it? It was a great name, and then they changed it to like something else. And it's like because of Mount Evans. Mount Evans. They changed Mount Evans to Mount Blue Sky. Because I guess the Evans guy was a horrible human. And so they're like, because he's a horrible human and we want to erase history, we have to change the name of the mountain. Done. Because we're leftists and we're led on emotion. That's basically what they did. So, and they've changed other names. So you guys can drop it here. Fort Bragg. I don't know if that you guys are having your own conversation. But they do change the names. And so it's basically a board. Trump will most likely appoint some people on the board, and then the board will say, we're changing the name. The Redskins. Yeah, Redskins. Perfect example. And now the Redskins want to go back to being the Redskins. So just make it make sense. But that's my take on that. I either way, like, it's not something I'm like, let's go to battle on this one. Like, let's suit up and do this. Gulf of America or die. No, like I'm good. Like there's other things I will definitely be passionate about. That's not one of them. But hey, if you want to do it, go for it. I don't care. Whatever. Let's see here. Labor Party. Oh yeah, this is like horrible. Another dark one, but we're going to end on a light note. I promise you. So I was like 10 years ago in England. Like the story was totally covered up, and you guys might be following it. You probably know more about it than I do. But it blew up on X because Elon Musk was like, we're going to talk about this. Like, we're going to bring attention to it because this is really, really bad. Bad doesn't even describe it. Like horrific, absolute, like the epitome of evil. A bunch of Pakistani gang members went out and started violating and assaulting and doing horrible, inhumane, evil acts to young British girls, right? And they totally covered the whole thing up. And we're talking hundreds of girls trafficked, mutilated, abused, beaten, like sick stuff. And the government like allegedly just covered the whole thing up. And most recently, Elon Musk has now shined a light on it and was like, this needs to be exposed. And so now everyone's talking about it. A lot of the victims are being given a voice to speak out about it. And what's even the worst of the worst is just recently, because they were all like, suddenly exposed. Like, this is the Labor Party, right? That covered it up. They didn't want anyone to know about it because the Labor Party there wants this particular vote, right? And so if you go after this particular group of people, you're not going to have their vote anymore. So we'd rather have your vote and let you do whatever you want to do. And that means horrible, doing vile things to innocent people. That's basically what is being alleged happened. And they'd rather get the votes, which just is just so like, Jesus, come quickly, right? Like, I'm sometimes humans to me, I'm just like, wow, like, it's so dark. But so basically Elon Musk brings it to light, and then suddenly they're like, oh my gosh, like the spotlight's on him, and they're like, no, we didn't know. And they're starting to have these hearings and stuff like that. And then the Labor Party just recently took a vote. They took a vote whether they like literally launch into like super deep investigations on all this and bring it to light and prosecute people that were in charge and do the right thing, basically. And they voted not to. 364 to 111. And that just, man, England needs help bad. So that is another thing that happened this last week. We'll see how this unfolds. Maybe it's enough to wake the country up. I don't know. Like, some of these things for me, because for me, I'm like, oh, this will wake them up. Like, my hope is with the whole California fires, like, this is they're gonna see it now. They're gonna see it. They're gonna stop doing the same thing. They're gonna vote differently. They're gonna really, dive deep into the issues, look at the policies. They're gonna change their mind. They're gonna do something different. Like, I hope that happens with California. And I really hoped, like, when COVID went down, you guys, like, I was like, oh, this is gonna wake people up. Like, this is gonna, and maybe it did. Maybe you're on here and you're like, COVID woke me up. But then we had the 2022 elections and the midterms there, and it didn't move as much as I thought it was going to move. So often I'm like, what will it take to wake people up? Like, what does it take? Obviously, we made a turn here just recently with our elections, getting Trump back in here to clean up this absolute crap show that we've been in for the last 4 years. Like, we're making, like, we're on the way now, I feel. But I don't know if this whole thing with the gangs and the innocent children and all of this, I don't know if that will wake England up. I really hope it does. I mean, that's my hope. So we'll see. We'll watch. But thank God that I am appreciative that Elon Musk brought it to light. It needs to be brought to light, right? Like, I think anything that's dark and evil that's being hidden, like, I'm all about expose it. And I don't care who it hurts. Expose it. Bring it to light. Another thing that happened this week, as we wrap up this recap, Laken Riley Act was passed. The Laken Riley Act would require ICE to detain immigrants without legal permission who commit theft related crimes. So if we have a legal immigrant here, they create a crime, they commit a crime, not create a crime. What do they have? They're going to like create one. No, commit a crime, then the police can hold them, right? And so you would think that we already had this in play, but we obviously didn't. So they had to create this whole bill for it. It passed the House 264 to 159, with 48 House Democrats joining the Republican Party. Thank you, Democrats. Like, thank you. I mean, I'm impressed. Maybe there's 48. Let's just mark the 48 House Democrats that are not complete communists. Like, maybe they're starting to see the light here. Maybe the House Dems are like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't, like, if there's an illegal here and they do something horrible to another human, maybe we should like not let them back out on the street. Like, maybe that's common sense. It is common sense, and that's what you should do. I'm surprised that I'm surprised that this wasn't like already like a law. But so now it's going to go to the Senate. All 52 Republicans and Democrat Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania are co-sponsors of the bill. Republicans need 7 Democrat votes to overcome the filibuster and begin the debate of the bill in the Senate. So that's going to move over now to the Senate. My hope is it should pass. If the Democrats just common sense, maybe I'm too hopeful. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to watch this play out, guys. Like, I feel like as we head into this year, I really, like, I don't know what it looks like. I have all these expectations. I have all these hopes. I don't know how the Democrats are going to behave. I mean, to me, I feel like they're complete disarray right now. I feel like they don't know their identity anymore. They're like, are we climate change? Are we for like mutilating boys and girls at a young age? Are we on that train still or no? Like, I don't like, what do we believe in? Like what? Like, I feel like that's where they're at right now. So I don't know if they're going to like go full hard on like some of the woke stuff that they championed the last 4 years, or if they're going to back it up and they're going to come with some other, I don't know. Like, I always want to think like, what are they going to do? Right? Like, are they going to just be quiet? Are they going to place, impeachment articles the minute Trump is sworn in? I mean, I don't know what we're looking at here. We're going to have to kind of watch and see it unfold. So, okay. And this is my favorite part. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Jimmy Carter's funeral, guy lived 100 years. So he lived a good, long life. Not my favorite of presidents, but from what I heard and his grandchildren said, like, they loved him well. And he passed on and he had a funeral. And it was like I was like Desperate Housewives meets high school at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Like, it was like, I was watching it and I was like, okay, like, I feel like I'm literally back in high school. I feel like these people are just giant children, like, and I think like too often, like we look at these people as, oh yeah, they're world leaders, right? They're world leaders, but they're really just giant children. And that's what the Jimmy Carter funeral did for me, watching the interactions. I really quick want to recap it. So here you go. I did a kind of a breakdown of what went down. Well, and I think this is it. Let me see. I think this is it.
Fascinating to watch some of the dynamics and interactions between the who's who that attended former President Jimmy Carter's funeral. Like here, you have President Trump enter the building. Now, if Trump shows up, he's there, right? He shakes Al Gore's hand, he shakes Mike Pence's hand, but Karen Pence just sits there and acts like she doesn't even see him. She refuses to shake Melania's hand and Trump's hand. Now, if anybody was wondering what's a real good definition of what a Karen is, Karen Pence nails it here. Then you've got former President George W. Bush here. He walks in, does not shake Trump's hand, and gives kind of like a slap to Obama, like a bro slap. And then look, Karen is just thrilled to see the Bushes. Just she sees them. She sees them. I mean, everybody's so happy to see the Bushes, I guess. Then the Clintons walk in, Bill and Hillary, and everybody's like, oh, look at them, and they're so happy to see them. But I did notice that Obama and Trump, still in a conversation, don't even really acknowledge them entering. Then Harris walks in, right, with her husband, Doug. And she's just like stone cold. Like she couldn't smile if you paid her, I don't know, what did she spend? $1 billion on her campaign? $1 billion. But what I found interesting is neither the Bushes or Obama, who obviously I thought were on Team Harris, don't say hi to her or acknowledge her either. Trump looks at her like, why don't you say hi to me? Why? The real kicker is, though, when Jill and Joe walk in, right? And they have to sit next to Harris, and Kamala Harris and Jill, like, don't even acknowledge each other. And then at one point, Trump makes Obama laugh, and I'm like, what is happening?
Seriously, what is happening though? That's like, I'm like, what is happening? It was it was so like, I was so ice between like an ice. I don't like cold. Like it was just like between Jill and Kamala. It was just like they couldn't even say hi to each other. Like, I mean, I've been in situations where I'm around people and I'm like, I don't really need to be around you. I don't really have to say anything to you, but I can fake it, man. I can fake it. It's so good to see you. Like, we can do that. They didn't even play. Like, they're like, we don't even care. We don't even care. We're just going to be real at this point. We all hate each other. And that's basically what we saw, except we saw Trump and Obama. And like, there was this, let's see here. So, and I don't even want to dive into this because I guess there was some lip read of what they were saying to each other. And, I guess when you start to research who the lip reader is, they're from England, and not, no offense to the English, but Americans talk. I mean, it's American, right? Like we talking like we're not proper English, right? It's so I don't know how well someone with an English background, but they're supposedly like a professional that work with like law enforcement and the elite of the elite, and they transcribed it that they were talking about something kind of deep. So I was like, no, I don't like that. I was like, I don't like that. I want to think like Trump told him a joke and he laughed. That's my thing. So we'll see what happens with that. I also, Karen Pence, you guys, like I meant that when I was like, she's perfect example of a Karen. And this is where I get bothered because Karen Pence says she's a Christian. Okay. Like I'm a Christian. Now there's a certain way you act. Like if you're a Christian, it's just like, I mean, you know, and let's say she hates Trump. Like, and obviously she does. Like she hates Trump. She can't stand Melania. Like, but if you're a Christian, like, and your enemy walks in the room, you say, hey, good to see you. I'm praying for you. Good to see you. That you can be cordial, right? And that behavior, not cool. And as a Christian, my job is to call out other Christians. So Karen, you can get up, you can be nice, right? You can be nice and walk out in the love of Jesus that you profess that you have. Like that's what you can do. You can do that. You can do it. You can get up, you can shake Melania's hand. She is not celebrating, she's remembering the 1-year anniversary of her mother's death. Think about that, okay? Because people are talking about Melania and they're like, she just looks so sad. Like, why is she so sad? She's sad because it was a year ago that day that her mother passed away. So here she is now at a funeral. I mean, that's heavy. And she did it and she was classy and walked the whole thing out. And the least Karen Pence could have done is get up, maybe give her a hug and say, yeah, you know, I'm sorry about your mom. I'm sorry about your loss. Here you are now at a funeral. That's got to be emotionally difficult for you. I mean, that's how you handle it. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got. That's it. That's a wrap. That's it. So thank you guys for joining. Shout out to my Patreon supporters. I do have supporters on Facebook, and I just opened up subscribers on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter a lot, head my way and subscribe to me. I do a Minute with Mama once a week where I real talk with, like, I say stuff that I probably can't say here. So join me over there. And it also just supports the satire. It supports the parody. It supports the comedy. And it allows me to keep doing this. So if you would like to support, I would definitely appreciate it. I'm a solo person here. I got nobody else doing anything, right? Like it's just me. So I could really use any kind of support you want to throw my way. And yeah, okay, I'm going to read a couple of the comments just really quick because I do enjoy you guys' comments. Sometimes, I mean, often I feel like people that comment, like they've just got a different take. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I never thought of it that way. So Obama was faking it. They all do hate each other. That's what I think. Jason, is it Jason? on Facebook. I think so too. Actually, deaf people are recruited to read lips. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I wonder if it's accurate. If it's accurate, that kind of freaks me out. I hope it's not accurate, the lip reading, because it sounded like they were like totally like working together on something. And I'm like, no, I don't like that. So hopefully it was wrong. Okay. That's my hope. Trump, we're going to lock those Democrats up also. I can't read that. See this, but Buzzy, what did you say? Oh, see, it doesn't show me the whole thing you said, Buzzy. It just shows me like one little line on YouTube. Raymond Garcia, what's up? How are you? I don't know who's worse, Karen Pence or Hillary Clinton, right? I know. Totally unacceptable behavior by Karen Pence. Okay, I said it. Oh, look, I have look, if I press on the comment, it stays up. Did you guys see this? Look at this. Oh, here, let's do Neil's. Did she? Come on, Neil. Come on. Let's see here. And this is Raymond. So let's just show Raymond's comment. I don't know who's worse. I love it how it displays it like this. I didn't know it did this till right now. Okay, let's see here. When Northern California, let's read it. When Northern California fires happened in 2017, 2018, 2020, we got half the media coverage. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Is it because it was when Trump was in office, Jason? Is that what you think? See, and what if I show? So I haven't read this yet, so let's read it. Hello from Indiana. I also skip on a certain platform because they're word and not censoring. Yes. Seriously, I'll believe the censorship stops when it seriously stops. Just for example, like when I started Conservative Mama, and it was years ago, you guys. When I initially started, I had viral videos, like videos that just got millions of views, and I didn't have that big of a following. Like my following now is larger than it's ever been, but it's been capped. Like on Facebook, the minute I get to a certain number of followers, they take away 1,000, and then they build it back up, and then I hit that number again, they take it back to 1,000. They drop it by 1,000. This has been going on for about 2 years. So I'm like, okay, like when I actually cross that threshold that they have me capped at, then I might be like, okay, yeah, maybe they're not censoring me anymore. And also like getting more views on videos, because if your audience is growing and your viewership is declining, something's happening, right? Like something's happening. So I'll believe it when we start, when the math says otherwise, when the math starts to show, right? Let's see here. Carter isn't the worst president anymore. Oh, does that see, Mike? Are you saying that Biden's the worst president? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Maybe. Let's see here. To the children. Oh, okay. I don't know. See, sometimes you guys are talking to each other, so I have to like filter through this stuff. Let's see here. Anyways. I gotta do mom stuff. Yes, go do your mom stuff. I got mom stuff to do too, Sarah. Just catch the rest of it later, okay? Get it done. Let's see here. Can I post here? Well, it depends on what you want to post, George. All right, you guys, that's it. That's it for now. God bless you all. I'm thankful for you. Seriously, you guys keep me going, and I will drop my Patreon in here in case you want to head that way. And God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Spend some time with your family or those you love. Put your phone down. Seriously, that's something I need to work on, right? Put the phone down and just focus on those people right in front of you. And be praying for our country, be praying for Trump protection, and that we do get to accomplish all that we've set out to accomplish. All right, you guys, God bless, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.